What is going on, folks? It is time for the ASRA All-Star Race today from Nashville Super Speedway. Today we're going to get right into the action. The All-Star Open is up next, followed by the All-Star Feature Race a little bit later on. Right now we have 12 plus drivers trying to figure out who will work their way and race their way into the All-Star Race. Going to go down trackside right here. We have a lot to talk about. We'll get down to qualifying and see how everyone is doing right now. Everyone qualifying right here. All-Star Open. So this right here is going to be all the drivers who are not automatically entered into the All-Star Feature Race. Typically, this is for non-winners or non-season winners from the past, you know, or this season, things like that. But right now, a lot of drivers trying to go into it. Josh Sobel. A lot of drivers right here trying to get it, make it happen here. Christian Angel up top right now on the board, 29.63. Andrew Phipps was very, very quick in practice. We'll see what he has for him right now. So this is pretty unique. The All-Star Open. The pole sitter gets to advance to the All-Star Feature Race. So this is huge. Right now it looks like Phipps is going to be P2. Christian Angel is in second. Tim Robb in that 57. Trying to warm up those tires. Do what he can. Jared Kaler. Looking pretty good. Not sure if he's speeding up or slowing down here, but has time to obviously make it. Austin Salyers as well. Trying to get that high lane up and get going here. Good stuff right now. So it looks like Austin Salyers, the only one left to go in this qualifying session. Can he knock off Christian Angel, who right now is the pole sitter? Looking pretty good so far. We'll get the live reaction from Christian Angel if he is the pole sitter here. Austin Salyers comes across the line. That puts him P6. Let's bring him in real quick. Here he is right here. Christian Angel, pole sitter for the today's ASRA All-Star Open. And guess what, man? Just like that, you're into the All-Star Race feature, dude. How do you feel?
Steve, me boy, we finally won something.
We're going to make memes. We're going to make all kinds of celebratory things, graphics. I'll tell you what, you did it, man. It's been a long time coming. The W is in the column. And you can go park that bad boy and bring it down to Victory Lane, I guess, for now. I don't know. In the meantime.
Go, baby. Wendy's chili. Steve, Wendy's chili on me, baby.
Hell yeah. We up. All right, man. We'll catch you later on in the All-Star Race feature.
All right,
Good stuff, dude. Always having fun around here. Christian Angel gets it done, though. So pole sitter, he gets to go to the All-Star Race just like that. Can park this bad boy and off he goes. So it's going to be a 40-lap race. Nice and quick. That way we can just kind of get to the All-Star Race like we all want to. So right here, we're going to have 11 drivers trying to figure out who will get themselves into that feature race. And again, Christian Angel is the one who gets to move on. I'm going to do a quick warm-up session here to get them going for this. We're going to step aside real quick, thank our sponsors, and we'll come back for the All-Star Open.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back right now to race day. This is the ASRA All-Star Open, a quick 40-lap race to figure out who will make it into the All-Star feature. The pole sitter, Christian Angel, has already advanced, so now it's going to be 2 stages in this 40-lap race. Stage 1 will end at lap 10, and Stage 2 will end at lap 25, so the stage winners will also advance, as well as the top 3 at the end of this race. Nice and quick, and then we will get to the All-Star race a little later on. Lots to talk about right now, man. Good vibes. We had the off week last week. Hope everyone enjoyed their time off, and good stuff right here. So a couple of guys to watch out for. I feel like Tim Robb right now already on the lead right here. Right now we're in a bit of a warm-up session. These guys typically just do this right before the race just to get kind of warmed up, try some green flag pit stop, you know, and things like that. So not too worried about that. A couple of guys though knocking on that door, man. Dylan Bates looking really good right now through the grass. Millerin, I haven't seen a couple of guys, Millerin and Rob, here for a couple of races now, but good to see him back. See how fast they can be today. Looking pretty good already so far. Jared Kaler, we know how fast he is, and he'll be on track trying to work his way into the All-Star race as well. Andrew Phipps, again, another one looking really good today. He's come so close this season, I feel like. Andrew Phipps will try and get that win, but has not come just yet. It could happen today for sure, but Nashville is definitely a hard track. 1.33 miles in concrete. So very unique, and it's going to definitely shake up quite a bit. The All-Star Open here will be a day race. The race later on, the feature race, might end up being like a sunset race. We'll see how that how the time develops over there, but lots of good things here. Big shout out to all of our sponsors today. Harpoon Design, obviously, for supporting the stream, as well as, man, the title sponsor of ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. So really cool stuff there. Go and check them out. Huge thanks, as always, to Hosky and Cardano. Man, Premier Setup Shop, Battle Beaver, Admin Box. Holy, we have so many. It's really appreciative. James Kaufman, right now in that P10 spot, going to try and get himself into the All-Star race feature. We might also have a surprise for you too, folks. The end of Stage 2. We will see. Try and see how I feel about it. Right now, though, that's going to be it. Warm-up is over. We're going to get down to trackside and into the All-Star Open. The nice thing about this, Christian Angel gets moved out because he is advancing to the All-Star race. So third place gets to move up to that pole position. So not a bad spot to be in. Tim Robb going to be starting on the pole, essentially, here in this race. Here we go, the starting lineup right here. So Andrew Phipps going to be starting off in P2. Tim Robb going to be, again, given that pole position because he is going to advance with Christian Angel now moving on. Dylan Bates right there as well, going to be starting in P4. Jared Kaler, not on track just yet, but will be soon. There's Austin Salyers rolling off P6. Jeremy Millerin P7, Matthew Pont. Rolling off today in P8. Grant Salzano looking good right there in that 14 machine. Starting off 8th place, James Kaufman, P9. Joshua Sobel in P10. Then Marshall Harris rounding up the field right now in P11. So again, small field. About half the field is here and half the field is already over in the feature race, getting warmed up and practiced, ready to go. So should be interesting to see how this race turns out, obviously. A lot of guys going for their first all-star race win and all kinds of cool stuff. So we're going to find out. This race is very, very short on purpose. We want to get this thing kind of over and done with nice and early and then move on to the all-star race. So big thanks to you folks for being here today, obviously, on YouTube, following us on race day, but also on X at ASRA iRacing. A lot of folks already over on the Twitter side, so appreciate you guys. Here we go. Gonna get going right here. All-Star Open for Season 7. Kicking off right here. Green flag in the air. Geico restart zone, and we are green. This race is all about getting it done early. We talk about urgency a lot in our main races, right? Stage 1 and Stage 2 of our races typically are pretty quick and pretty urgent. You got to get to the front, get to the stage points. This race is like a mini stage. It's very, very quick. Lap 1 already under our belts. Who can advance themselves into the All-Star race? This is also kind of an advantage, right? We've seen the last couple of All-Star races, if you recall, if you've been here long enough, that the All-Star Open winners typically get through quite a bit of the All-Star race and look pretty sharp throughout it. So we'll see. Andrew Phipps already taking an early lead in that P1. Dylan Bates going to try and squeeze into that as well. Scoring tower getting a little weird. Sorry about that. Not sure why those things happen, but it is all good. Right now looking very, very good. Bunch of battles right here already early on. Austin Salyers trying to look on the outside of Millerin. The outside lane can work here, but it really has to be kind of hot and slick, which this race is today, but there's also no rubber really worked into the upside, the outer groove. It's going to be difficult, but right here, ooh, close battle. They are trying to make it happen. Millerin finishes him off on the outside lane in turns 1 and 2. Getting really, really close. Again, stage 1 ends in 6 laps. Good battle. Salyers comes up a little bit. It's so easy to get tight in these corners. And so far, so good by these guys right here. Andrew Phipps. Oh, still tight. Still tight. Bouncing off each other. That might be what it takes to get yourself into the All-Star race. And now Matthew Pont up next, working alongside Jeremy Miller. And Miller is just not in a good position right now. Gets a little loose right here. Grant Salzano might catch him up real quick. They are not messing around right here. Andrew Phipps still in P1. Going to lock down stage 1 here in just a minute, it would look like. Dylan Bates, Tim Robb, Jared Kaler, very, very fast guys behind them, but the battle's right here in P8. Now, this is not a position just yet to advance, right? You don't need to beat Millerin right here, but man. Good stuff. Matthew Pont still working on it. Let's take a ride on board, actually, because this is getting pretty heated. Ooh, big door bang right there. A little tight for Matthew Pont. Grant Salzano might squeeze it in here. 3-1. Ooh, who's that? Dylan Bates just flat loses it. coming off of turn 4, and that will end stage 1. So that's going to be it. Marshall Harris somehow is around as well in the back. But Dylan Bates goes around right here, it looks like. We'll take a look. Oh, did he have contact with Tim Robb? Maybe. Let's get a better angle at that, because that, I saw the wiggle, but I don't know if that actually went down. Let's go take a look. All right, this is a bit early, but we'll see if Rob gets into him maybe on the in 3 and 4 here. He gets pretty close. No, just Dylan just loses it right here. So, man, unfortunate for Bates to lose it right there. And then Marshall Harris. What happens here, huh? Take a look at Marshall Harris, the wreck here. Marshall kind of does the same thing. Sort of. Looks like he tries to slow down and just barely hits the wall. He'll be okay, but man, tough break for Dylan Bates. That's going to be it, though. Stage 1 is going to be over just like that. Let's bring him in. Andrew Phipps. He is the Stage 1 winner. Andrew Phipps, there he is, man. Already, just like that, 9 laps in, you advance to the All-Star race, man. Winning stage number 1, man. How's it feel right now? How's the car feel?
Awesome. It's a little slippery. Probably have a little more grip than that, but yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be a tough race. It was I was hoping to get the pole there, but Christian knocked off a good lap. So congratulations to him, and happy to survive that one.
Yes, sir. Hey, nice and easy. You get to park it right now and head to the All-Star feature session, man. So good stuff, dude. We'll catch you over there later on.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
There he is. Good stuff for Andrew Phipps right there, winning stage 1. So, next up, stage 2. We will see how that ends up. Gonna waste no time right here. Pace car light's already off. Love to see that. So a couple of fast guys, obviously. Dylan Bates, very, very fast, but now he's kind of mired back in this pack here. He can definitely catch up, but it's just going to be a matter of time to see how that works, because stage 2 is going to be 15 laps. Lap 25 will be when it ends, so a little bit longer, and obviously it's pretty loose out there, as we've already seen. So Tim Robb, Jared Kaler up front right here. What can they do? And one of these guys lock it down. Here we go. Robb and Kaler up front. Green flag again, back out in the air. And the green flag is out. We already saw some beating. Oh no, Sobel in the background already. Big incident. There's the yellow. And Sobel, unfortunately, man, out, not out of the race, but really out of shape right here, unfortunately. What happened here? Looks like he was between Kaufman, maybe, and Sobel, potentially. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, Sobel comes down. I'm not sure if he thought he was clear. That wasn't the greatest angle. Let's take a look back again. Okay, here we go. So we'll find out here what kind of happens. Kind of a checkup there on the high line. Yeah, Sobel comes down here. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they both kind of make a move there. Kaufman kind of stays in line, comes up a little bit, but then Sobel comes down. Seemed like Sobel maybe hesitated on whether he wanted to commit down fully to the inside lane, but that can happen. The nice thing, too, about this race in particular is that, well, there's no fast repairs. So there is that. But there's unlimited tires. You can come down pit road, get the tires, fix your damage. It can all happen, right? So that does matter. We will see. But Tim Robb still leads. Jared Kaler P2, Marshall Harris in third spot. Again, everyone's trying to get themselves into the All-Star feature. This is not a normal race for those just joining. It's the All-Star race presented by Harpoon Design. So today, right now, actually, we're trying to figure out who's going to make their way into the All-Star race. I already have about 15 plus drivers in the All-Star race who are locked in from either wins or championships and things like that, right? So they're already over into that session. We're going to migrate over once we conclude here. So a little preview of the All-Star race while we have some time here. All-Star race is going to be a lot of fun. Kind of a different setup. So we're going to have a normal race procedure, I guess you could call it. But the difference is it's timed. It's a timed 60-minute race. So the second they go green, it's going to be 60 minutes on the dot will be the All-Star race. That'll be pretty cool. All the normal features like you see right here, the choose rule, things like that, that'll all be normal. But 60-minute timed race for the All-Star race. But also, the qualifying is also unique. So qualifying will be a 3-lap average time. So normally, like right here for the All-Star Open, they just did 1 lap, tried to make it their fastest, and done deal. But in the All-Star race, they have to go 3 laps consecutively. And the best average time of all those will be the pole sitter. So pretty cool stuff. Kind of like Indy 500 qualifying, if you've ever seen that. It's the same idea, just 3 laps. So pretty cool. It's definitely different, and I think the timed race structure is pretty cool too. So be a lot of fun. Nice and simple format, but something different. Right here, though, we have to decide stage number 2 to see who else gets into the All-Star race. Christian Angel has moved on as the pole sitter. Andrew Phipps has moved on because he was stage 1 winner. So now it comes down to stage 2. We'll have 10 laps to go here to decide it. Who will it be? Tim Robb up front still. Going to start it off, and green flag is out. Outside lanes are not getting a great jump right there, as you saw. But they make it happen. Everyone so far looking pretty good. Dylan Bates already in P4. We know how fast he is. And he had that wreck just a second ago, but can he get back to the front? Right on the back end of Marshall Harris. 25 laps to go, just like that. Everyone trying to go for the All-Star race. There he goes. Makes a move down low. That is the preferred lane here. Got to be a little bit more careful on corner exit, as we already saw. He was super loose. And here he is right here, Dylan Bates. Going to now track down second in first place. And this position right here is actually a good one to be in, because at the end of the day, the top 3 at the end of this race move on. But man, you want to win and just get yourself over to the feature race as soon as possible. Dylan Bates going to try and do that right now. Tim Robb, though, looking pretty good. Jared Kaler, though, not too far back. He is right there on the back end of that 57. Trying to do what he can here. Man, looking really good. Kaler going to be down low here in just a second. And there he is. Going to take the lead. Tim Robb might be able to fight back here on the outside lane. Still has the advantage a bit, but for how long? Tim Robb's not going to give this up. He might have to now. That lane is just so good. The inside lane. Not clear, though. Kaler still having to fight back Tim Robb. Tim Robb actually doing a fantastic job working the outside line here. Right now, though, that's going to be it. Might try a crossover if he can get it. Not going to be enough. Dylan Bates has pulled up behind him, though. A little further on back, Matthew Pont, Marshall Harris. Looking pretty good. Everyone in the line right here. Hey, their play, you know what, might be to just say, you know what? Okay, boys, go ahead. Win stage 2. We're going for that top 3 at the end. And here comes Dylan Bates making that move down low again. Has the lane. Rob got a little loose right there out of 4. Couldn't tell if he was super loose or not, but there he goes. Oh, big move right there. Rob, not sure if that was a defensive move or not, but gets into him. Little how you doing right there, but Bates moves past him. 20 to go, already halfway through this All-Star Open. And again, 5 laps away to decide the stage 2 winner. Jared Kaler looking very, very good to try and get that get it done. Came in as a sub this season after the 4 car was vacated. Man, right now though, looking really, really good in this session. Trying to get that W. Dylan Bates right here on the back end, 0.4 of a second back. He is catching, but I don't know if it's going to be enough time in 3 laps. Kaufman a little loose right there out of turn 2, I believe that is. Subble has that damage as well too, so keep that in mind. Front end damage, it doesn't look that bad actually right now. It looks like it's pretty well fixed. You got that taken care of, it looks like. Oh, Bates got a little loose again in the same spot. You can tell he's pushing bad right now, but hey, at this point, you know, catching and passing Kaler is not necessarily what you need to do, right? Just put yourself, the biggest prize right now is to put yourself into the feature all-star race. So right now, get yourself in that top 3, which you are, and just stay there. Austin Salyer's looking pretty good too. Right in the back, yellow flag is out. And just like that, Jared Kaler, stage 2 winner. Very, very fast. Got it done. Got around Tim Robb. And he gets to advance himself into the All-Star race. Man, good stuff for that 4 machine. We'll bring him in real quick. Get the live reaction out of him. Here he is. Here's the man, Jared Kaler. Gets the win for stage 2 and gets to automatically advance himself into the All-Star race. Man, hey, looking pretty good, dude. Looking really fast. You get to move on, man. How you feel?
I feel pretty good. I mean, I didn't get too many practice laps out there. Kind of joined a bit late, but definitely I think this helps and gives a good confidence booster going into the All-Star race later tonight.
Yes, sir, man. Looking pretty good. We'll see you over in that session a little later on. But yeah, fast hot rod today, dude. Good stuff, man. We'll catch you then.
Thank you.
There he is, Jared Kaler. Gets to move on, man. Fast car right now. Dylan Bates, though, I'll tell you what, we know how fast he is and what he can do. I have no doubt, or little doubt, I guess I would say, in my mind, that he could probably win this race. But Tim Robb, hey, he's right there. Austin Salyer's looking pretty good, too, so good stuff. Bunch of guys coming down pit road, obviously. This is where the strategy will come into play, right? Grant Silzano stays out. This is a smart move. I think this is a smart move, right? You don't have to win this race at this point. You just have to finish top 3 to move on. So right here, smart move. Miller looks like he might be staying out too. So bunch of these guys, 4 tires, we're assuming. And then off we go. So yeah, right now Marshall Harris looks like he might have taken 2 right there. Dylan Bates, Rob comes out next. So good stuff. Good stuff. We'll take a quick break, folks. Shout out our sponsors once again. We'll come right back and finish the All-Star Open.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers full sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back to the All-Star Race here for the ASRA. Season 7 already. Unbelievable. Been doing this a long time, and man, awesome to see all the support on X and also YouTube. Huge thanks to all of our sponsors, as always. Makes the world turn for us, so good stuff right there. Tell you what, next week going to be a lot of fun. The beginning of our playoffs at Darlington. You can't ask for a better setting to start off the playoffs. Going to be a lot of fun. We'll be doing that next week, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. First round of the round of 12. Going to be a good time. Right now, though, we're going to figure out the All-Star Open. 3 more drivers are going to move themselves into the All-Star feature. Who will it be? It'll be the top 3 who finish this race right here. Got a couple of guys who stayed out, obviously. Salzano, Harris. Man. Different drivers can get this done. We know how quick Dylan Bates seems to be. What can Grant do here, right? On no tires. Big chance here. You never know. We're going to find out, though. 11 laps to go once we hit the green flag. Green flag in the air. 11 laps to decide this thing. Grant Salzano leads us off. Marshall Harris, a terrible restart on the outside lane. Really, really slow on the outside. Checks up the entire outside line, but keeps it going. Grant Salzano gets a great restart from that. Dylan Bates, though, man, he is right there as well. Austin Salyer is not too far back. So who can get this thing done? 10 laps to go now, and Dylan Bates is coming. He is right there in the back end of Salzano. But Grant, all he has to do is finish top 3. He can let Bates and Salyers pass him, but no one else. And these guys right here are really fighting for it hard now. Harris, Rob, and Kaufman all going for it. Three wide here. And the time that goes now, you cannot hold up at all. If you're not in the top 3 in 9 laps, you are gonzo from the night. And Harris, unfortunately, having a rough outing right now in the stage 3. So far, though, Grant Salzano's holding on to it quite well, I will say. With 9 laps to go, really making it work. Dylan Bates most likely going to pass him here in a lap or two. Definitely shows some speed. So far, though, really impressive stuff. Again, no tires for Salzano. Dylan Bates on fresh tires. And I'll tell you what, if you're in the All-Star race, you're watching this, right? You're seeing, man, Salzano here kind of able to hold on to this with no tires. So that's really good to know, right? I mean, that speaks to the fact that, I mean, maybe you really can't pass a whole lot here, or at least easily, but you know, taking no tires, maybe even 2 tires, is probably worth it up against 4 freshies. But right here, they're going to fade away a little bit. Dylan Bates going to pass him here. Looks like he does. Going to be going for the lead with 7 laps to go. A bunch of guys still trying to run them down. Back of the field, unfortunately, Miller not looking too hot right now. Sobel, Marshall Harris. They need a miracle here. Maybe a caution flag to come out to kind of reset. Try and go for that top 3. Kaufman, Tim Robb, just not going to be enough, it looks like. Matthew Pont really making it. You can see just he is just driving the wheels off that thing right there down low. Tim Robb going to get into him just a little bit. Hey, all is fair right now. Tim Robb has to go. Good move there by Robb if he can make that happen. Up front, though, Austin Salyers is there, too, on the outside lane. With 5 to go. These would be the 3 right here to advance. If they keep this positioning, Grant's going to let that guy go, Austin Salyers. So Grant cannot lose on, again, no tires. He cannot let anyone else pass him right here. Man, I'll tell you what, Matthew Pont doing a fantastic job on the outside, still holding off Tim Robb here. Did not expect that level of success, but man, he's making it work. So these guys are here. They're hoping that, hey, those tires really fade away from Grant. Tim Robb completes the pass again on Ponte. Very good job right there, man. Impressive work. Dylan Bates about to maybe win this race, but what does Salyers have? He's right there too. Not a points paying race, but I'll tell you what, winning this race is still a win. Could be a lot of bragging rights against these guys. So Dylan Bates right there. Salyers as well. I'll tell you what, with Grant Salzano with no tires, 2 laps to go, I don't think that they have enough. Tim Robert Ponce, I think the no tire strat's going to work for Salzano. We'll find out, but man, Salyers is still right there and catching. Turns 1 and 2 is kind of running this hybrid line. Super interesting to watch, but man, can't quite get it. Oh, gonna hit the wall hard. Dylan Bates, though, white flag is out. Sponsored by Cardano for the All-Star Open here. And Dylan Bates looked quick all race long. Spun out at the beginning of stage 2, right before stage 2. Had to reset and kind of figure it back out, but right now going to be the All-Star Open winner in 2 laps, 2 corners. And there he is. So Dylan Bates holds on to get the win here for the All-Star Open, and he will advance himself into the All-Star race, as well as Austin Salyers in P2 and Grant Salzano with the no tires strat at the beginning of stage 3. Holds on to it and will advance to the All-Star race. Awesome, awesome job by these guys. Unfortunately, the night's over for Tim Robb, Matthew Pont, Kaufman, Sobel, Harris, and Millerin. A valiant effort, and we will see them next week for the start of the playoffs. But Dylan Bates, that's the man. All-Star race winner. We will see those top 3 in the All-Star race in just a little bit. Good stuff, folks. No time for burnouts just yet. They're going to get right to the All-Star feature. Man, awesome job. They're the results for the All-Star Open. We're going to come right back, folks. We'll take an extended break right now just to get to the All-Star race session. And over there, we'll continue the broadcast. So give us a little bit. We'll run some commercials for you and do some things, but stick around, folks. We'll come right back very soon.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back right now to the All-Star race. We are in the feature session right now, and it is time to get underway for the feature. Huge shout out to you folks for being here and watching on race day, either on YouTube or on X. at ASRA iRacing. Right now, though, we have a lot to figure out. Who can win the All-Star race? Trophies up for grabs. Big thanks to 6 Trophies for providing those for us. Very, very cool ones as well. Man, right now, a lot of drivers, our best, on track right now. Right now, trying to figure out this layout of the track. Cool stuff right now. We're going to let Race Control do their drivers meeting in just a second, so they'll take care of that. Again, huge shout out, by the way, to Matthew Kent for doing that for us. Really, really good stuff. So in the meantime, folks, we'll kind of take some time here and talk about the format for today's race. So today, interesting setup. Right now, they're going to be doing, or in a minute, I guess, a 3-lap qualifier. So we'll bring in all these guys and they'll do their qualifying laps. It's a 3-lap average. So basically what'll happen is they'll start their qualifying like they normally would, but instead of their typical 1-lap qualifier, it's 3. But in this case, it's the 3 laps average time. So basically the sim just kind of adds up all 3 of your laps and then divides by 3, and there's the average time. So the best one actually of those drivers' laps averages will be the pole sitter, and then down the list. So very, very cool setup, kind of like the Indy 500, if you've seen that, how they qualify and do that. So very cool stuff. Then we'll move on to the All-Star race itself. It's going to be 60 minutes. That's it. A timed race. Going to be a lot of fun. So something different, obviously, if you've, raced in or seen like the IMSA, races or road racing in general, you'll see that they do like a timed race where it's basically the 24 hours of Le Mans or whatever, things like that, right? In this case, it's the same thing, right? So laps don't necessarily matter. It's just a 60-minute timed feature, and that is it. So the only other caveat to it is that they only have 1 additional set of tires. So you can only change your tires basically once in the race, and that's it. So that'll be a lot of fun to see when they choose to do that. But as well, we'll throw a competition caution halfway. So at the 30-minute mark, yellow flag will come out, and that'll kind of be a stage, I guess you could say. There's no stages in this particular race, but there is that 1 competition caution. If there's already a yellow flag, they won't throw it. But that'll act as something pretty interesting. So 50% fuel. So fueling will have to take place. Green flag pit stop should have to happen. It's just a matter of, man, how do they navigate that? Because they most likely have to pit for fuel within that first half an hour, right? 20, 25 minutes. And then the caution comes out. So it's like, what do you do? That's the thing that I think is going to be really interesting to see how they can do this. So we have 17 drivers in this race right now. I know we are missing Blaze Crawford and Max Brady, who would have been all-stars. They still are all-stars, but not here right now, I believe, or I'm guessing for the Contenders series that Blaze is in. So shout out to Blaze for trying to go for that. Hopefully he does well today. And man, really cool stuff. So we would have had about 20 drivers in this race, which is typically what we try and nail it down to, but it's all good. Sometimes life happens. All-Star race, though, going to be a lot of fun. Figure out who can get the All-Star race done. Again, this is the class of the field right here. Session has advanced. So right now, we're going to move on to qualifying. Here we go. This is something that we don't typically do. 3-lap average qualifying. So you'll see these drivers. We'll get a kind of a glimpse at them. And the names that you see that pop up on the tower, those will be the drivers that run their 3 laps. Definitely an interesting situation here. I think we'll see a lot of excitement here. To be honest, this is something that, you know, for me, you know, I always want to see unique things in the All-Star race, and I feel like this is a perfect time to kind of really test out ideas, right? So this is going to be pretty cool to see. You know, hey, you can lay down a fast lap time, a 1 lap time, cool, but can you put down 3 really fast lap times? And we'll talk all about these guys today, too, as well, throughout the race. Matthew Fleming on track right now. No wins this season, but he is locked in from winning the Dash for Cash initially earlier in the year. Also a race winner from a couple seasons ago, so definitely has found his way in for sure. Christian Angel, we saw him earlier, got to advance through winning the pole from the All-Star Open. So here he is, getting it done right now. Jackson Anderson on track as well, your regular season points champion. Going to try and go for that championship starting next week in Darlington, so will be a lot of fun for these guys trying to figure out all of that. Grant Salzano worked his way in at the line there, finished 3rd spot for the Open, and there he is. So Andrew Phipps as well, trying to make his way through. Daryl Young in that beast mode machine. Didn't look super fast in qualifying, but or in practice, excuse me, but so far looking pretty good here. Zelazny so far on top of the board. He is in this race from his clutch win in Atlanta 2 weeks ago to sneak his way into the playoffs. Looking good there. Brandon Bowie, you'll know him, 2-time winner this season, as well as former champion. Good stuff. Mark Whitley. No explanation needed. 2-time champion right here. But no win this season. And also, unfortunately, not in the Championship 12, which is a heartbreak on its own. Tell you what, though. Still a contender. Still somebody who can win races. A lot going to go on here today, for sure. Zelazny still in that P4 spot. Looking really good. Looks like Bowie here's going to slow down, and 29.51 is his 3-lap average. Very quick. Whitley and Anderson not too far back either, so where else can they go? A couple of guys. Brandon Six. Another one, right? Man. Champion. Multi-time race winner in his career here, but no win this season. Very shocking. So what can Brandon Six do in this race tonight? Can this be the fuel that ignites his championship fire throughout these races? You just never know. Where's he going to end up? Not sure where his 3rd lap ends. It'll be soon, though, it looks like. Daryl Young going to be qualifying P11. There he is. Devin Smecker on board. Man, love this paint scheme. Joseph Milley, their teammate, couldn't be here tonight, but a couple of great paint schemes here in celebration of Veterans Day, which was yesterday. Really good looking scheme there. Red, white, and blue. Love that. Nick Lights as well on track in the camo, a Cardano camo. Man, all kinds of good looking paint schemes today for sure. A lot of these guys still going around. Again, 3-lap average, so it's not a quick in and out. They're going to make their 3-lap average here. Jared Kaler going to be rounding off in P4. There he is. Still waiting on a few more. Tyler Dohar looks like he's coming back on track now, so going out late, it would seem. Ooh, Brandon Six gets to P2. Man, basically ties with Brandon Bowie. Look at that, 0.00. Just by a thousandth, seems like. Missed out on that pole. Crazy good stuff. Fun times with JC. Yeah, we're not filling the field per se today. This is different. This is the All-Star race. So it's not the typical 30-plus drivers that you'll normally see. There's a whole process on how drivers got to this particular race, and the All-Star Open we had earlier kind of brought in a few more. So this right here is the best of the best for Season 7 right now. So yeah, it's not meant to have a full field, but definitely some good drivers. Nicolette's going to be rounding off in P13 right there. Devin Smecker in P10. Again, for that 3-lap average qualifying. Frankie Barroso, haven't talked much about him just yet. Right now on track as well. Tyler Dohar making his way around. Some late bloomers here in the qualifying session. Dohar snuck his way into the playoffs with that Indianapolis win. Man, that was so fun to see him hold on to the gas and get that thing done. Maybe could have done it too, I feel like, at Auto Club. Had a big gap, but just couldn't hold on to the fuel. But either way, man, really good stuff here for Dohar. Waiting to see where he ends up for his 3-lap average qualifying. And Brandon Bowie on the pole right now. Dohar, though, P16. So right now, the lowest of the drivers trying to get into it. It's different, right? It's different. 3-lap average qualifying is something these drivers are not used to. And Frankie Barroso are going to try and do it now. Looks like that might have been the start of his 3rd lap. It's hard to tell from our angle, but that's part of the fun in that race day machine. Big thanks to Frankie for running that paint scheme for us this season. Always looking pretty good out there, so love that. Let's see, Frankie Barroso, the only one who can knock off his teammate, Brandon Bowie, and take the pole. What can he do? One more lap, it looks like, to put him in the books. A little tight right here for turn 2 and 3, or 1 and 2 it looks like, but keeps it going. Here we go. Frankie Barroso, where's he end up? P5. P5 for Frankie Barroso. Man, look at how close the top 8 are in their times. All within a 1/10 of a second for that top 8 for a top 3 qualifying 3-lap average. That's insane. So really good stuff there. Brandon Bowie going to be your pole sitter today, folks. Brandon 6, Andrew Phipps in P3, Whitley and Barroso round out the top 5. Awesome stuff. We're going to come back in just a second. We'll thank some sponsors before we go green here for the All-Star race. Stick around.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back right now to the All-Star Race. Quick warm-up session will be underway here in just a minute. Try and bring in some drivers too, maybe during this time, and see what their thoughts are as we get into this session. Who can we bring in real quick? Let's bring in Brandon Bowie, actually, if we can. Try and sneak him in. Where is he? Brandon Bowie. Where is... Currently sitting off track, so I want to bring him in real quick. Here he is. Brandon Bowie. Looks like he's currently in the pits right now, so we can try and bring him in. Brandon Bowie on the pole right now, man, for the All-Star race. Looking pretty quick, obviously, and how's the car feel, man? How are the nerves? Uh-oh. Maybe a quick bathroom break for Brandon Bowie. Not sure. Brandon, you got me? Oof. All right. We'll try somebody else. Let's bring in, who else is sitting or standing by? Oh, Daryl Young. Hold on, Daryl Young. Let's bring in Daryl Young real quick. Here's the man, Daryl Young, right now. Looks like he's sitting in the pits, so I wanted to bring him in real quick and see if we can talk to him real fast. Daryl, you got me? Oh, no. Another one. Daryl, you got me?
I got you, Steve.
Hey. Yeah, thank God. I thought we're all taking bathroom breaks. I don't even know what's happening, but hey, good stuff, man. You're what?
What?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hey, you're in the All-Star race, man. You didn't qualify so hot, but I see you in the pit, so we're going to talk to you real quick, man. Looking pretty fast.
Yep.
Good-looking car today, beast mode. What's the mentality like right now getting into this race?
I'm looking fast, but I'm starting in the back. Can you explain yourself, please?
Just go with it, man. You look fast.
Okay, yeah. I'm so freaking fast tonight. Like, everybody
Hell
needs
yeah.
to watch out because I'm so fast. I'm so fast.
I mean, you've got beast mode on the side of the car, man. So, like, how can I not say you're fast, right?
so fast.
All right. Hey, thought process. 3-lap qualifying. How'd it go for you?
I was so fast.
Okay.
All 3 laps. I was so fast.
Yeah, you really were. You know what? Just have fun tonight. It's going to be a hornet's web, okay? Like, I don't know what else to say. But have a good time, man. We'll see you then.
We're going to go real fast and real left. Have a good one.
There he is, Daryl Young. Who else can we bring in? Nick Lights? Hold on now. Oh, he's on track. Can't bring him in. Not going to bring... Oh, Dylan Bates. Hold on. Can we sneak in Dylan Bates? Where is he? Diddleon Bates. Not in the Discord. Well, you can't bring him in. That's cool. Let's bring in... Who else? Who else can we bring in? Christian Angel. Hold on. I see him on track. There he is. Christian Angel sitting on track right now, or in the pits actually. Wanted to get a quick word from a couple guys who are in the pits right now, man. Hey, getting ready for the All-Star race, man. What's the mentality like?
Take no prisoners. Just go out there and race as hard as you can. I mean, it's a race for fun, so having fun's the most important part. You know, we're a very competitive group of guys, and we get heated a lot, but this is for fun. You know, put a show on for everybody watching on YouTube and on X. So that's the main goal here, and just try to go out there and have fun.
I love to hear that, man. Hey, quick question for you: Is the Batman mask on right now?
I cannot deny nor confirm.
All right. Well, hopefully later on you grace us with that. But hey, good luck today, man. We'll see you maybe at the end.
Yep. Shout out Vector.
All right, there's Christian Angel, man. Hey, always a blast right now. So we're going to wrap up the warm-up session right here. I'm going to get down to the All-Star race. Hey, folks, this is a fun atmosphere. We are just hanging out, having a good time. It's nice to be able to let loose and kind of get away from the, sometimes, I guess, stressful racing nature that we can have going for points and going for wins and things like that. So right now we're going to get down trackside, going to get down to the grid for the race today, the All-Star race. It's happening right now in Nashville. And on the pole, going to be Brandon Bowie in that 34 machine. A couple of champions on the front row. Watch out for them. Two-time winner this so far this season for Brandon Bowie. And there he is in P1. Brandon 6 rolling off in second spot. Looking very good there too. Andrew Phipps. You saw him from the All-Star Open. Won stage 1. Mark Whitley. Tell you what. That car looking deadly today. And watch out. I'll tell you what. Deadly fast in that 77. I've got a feeling we'll see a lot of Mark Whitley today for sure. Frankie Barroso, P5. Rolling off in that 48. Jared Kaler in P6. Jackson Anderson, the regular season champion right here, rolling off in P7. Austin Salyers in P8. Looking pretty good. Trevor Zelazny, there he is, that 23 machine again, snuck his way into the playoffs and in the All-Star race right here from that clutch win a couple weeks ago in Atlanta. So good stuff right there. Matthew Fleming rolling off P10. Devin Smecker in P11. Dylan Bates rounding off in P12. Nick Lights, love that camo machine. There he is in P14. Grant Salzano finished third in the All-Star Open a second ago to advance himself here. Good stuff. Daryl Young, just talked to him. Got into this race from Talladega wins of seasons past. And then Tyler Dohar rounding up the field. Tell you what though, can still get this thing done. So 17 drivers in this all-star race trying to figure out how this can go. So right now it says the lap 1 of 200. Ignore that. It's not going to be laps, it's going to be time. So we'll see if we can switch that real quick actually. See if I know what the hell I'm doing. There we go. 57 minutes to go. That'll change in just a second, back to 60 minutes. The time officially starts and counts down once we take the green flag. 60-minute timed race, folks. Something different. Here we go. The ASRA All-Star Open. And the race is right now, and it's green. And just like that, 2 laps underway right now. But laps, again, don't matter. It's all about time right now. Lap-wise, they'll probably get to about 100 laps, roughly, within this time frame, assuming it stays green. But it just doesn't matter, right? It comes down to time. I can promise you, though, these guys have probably worked it out. They know that it's about 100 laps in this hour they can make it happen. But again, that competition caution, that will come out if it is green at halfway. The 30-minute mark, competition caution will come out, but also they only have 1 additional set of tires. So when do you use that? They're gonna have to pit most likely twice for fuel. So that's the hard part, right? Like, man, you gotta pit probably once without fuel, and then 1 you're gonna get tires. So when do you make that happen? Right now, we're going to see probably ultra conservation mode. All these guys, though, trying to make it happen. Middle of the pack right now, we're starting to see a couple of guys look like super saving. Nick Lights in this Cardano machine, man, looking so good. Let's stick right on board real quick. Here he is. And you can already hear it. We'll go Hosky hot lap as we always do. And right here, super saving right here. Nick Lights not giving a lot of gas. He'll probably even lessen up right here. Yeah, see that right there? Definitely letting go, lifting off the throttle a little bit earlier than you would expect to. Again, these guys know that caution comes out halfway. I like the strat though. Take it nice and easy, preserve those tires until it's time to go. It's a smart move. And right now, Nikolai's looking really, really good in that Cardano machine. Very good stuff. His teammate right behind him as well, Devin Smacker in 16th. Love that Veterans Day machine right there, honoring all who served on the back end. Looking so good. Dripdrops.io. Man, good stuff. Front of the field, Brandon Bowie, Brandon 6 up front. Andrew Phipps, Frankie Barroso in top 4. Followed by Trevor Zelazny right here as well. Tell you what, talk about a year. This guy right here probably could have won Dega, actually. Was very, very close to winning Talladega. And then comes in Atlanta 2 weeks ago and steals the win from Max Brady. Man, to get himself his first win ever in his career, but also a trip to the playoffs and this race. So pretty cool to see him here and seeing what he can do. Daryl Young back in the field as well, holding on to his tires and fuel. Again, I think this is a smart move, right? You don't want to, lean back too much where it can be, kind of a struggle or kind of a, getting lapped, right? But definitely a lot can happen here in this race. So yellow flag could come out, all kinds of things here, but so far, a very impressive race. These guys know what they're doing. And that's the thing about these races, too, that I've noticed is that, the All-Star race in general, it doesn't necessarily have to be this, go, go, go atmosphere, right? Super urgent, super, you got to move. This right here is kind of about the almost mind games, right? You really have to kind of figure out, okay, so I've got an hour for sure. If cautions come out, that eats away at that time. So 60 minutes is 60 minutes no matter what. But, how do you manage that, right? On fuel, tire strategy. They only get one tire set over the wall. A lot can happen in a very short time here. Gonna ride on board real quick, Mark Whitley. Still shifting, which is interesting. I feel like if you want to save fuel, you probably wouldn't be shifting, but at a track like this where the corners are so, they're tight, right? They're very, very tight. Concrete surface, it's just not easy. Doing a really good job at, again, kind of managing your position, but also holding on to those tires. You don't want to burn them off too soon because you've got so much time left to go. Good stuff, though, so far. You can really see the guys who are super saving, looking at maybe, Fleming, Light, Celzano, Dohar. I mean, hey, Dohar won his race at Indianapolis by doing pretty much just this. So it could definitely happen here if Dohar can win this, and looking pretty good. So up front, these guys don't seem to be slowing down at all. Brandon Bowie, Brandon 6. They obviously know how to save fuel and save tires in an efficient way. Right on board Brandon 6 real quick here and see if we can find out how he's driving this machine right here. Yeah, downshifting is normal. It just seems like they're kind of going, not hard, but definitely harder than a lot of the guys, maybe mid-pack and on, definitely are. Already a gap of about 10 seconds to P14 and beyond. Pass right here being moved. Frankie Barroso going to get passed here by Zelazny and also Jackson Anderson. Out of the groove a bit. Oh, Anderson just... And then also Salyers. I'm not sure if they got loose right there or tight into the corner. Typically it's tight entering. And that really got Frankie upended there a bit. Oh, Salyers still trying to figure out the grip level here. It is definitely difficult as they are showcasing it right now. But man, that was a close moment there to not get those cars wrecked. A couple of more guys still, I'm noticing at least, doing a pretty good job here. Ooh, somebody kissed the wall there. I think that might have been Dylan Bates. Let's see if we can track him down real quick. And here he is. Don't see if that was... Man, these guys are battling hard though. Right behind Christian Angel. Yeah, see, Bates right here is staying in 5th gear. I think this is pretty... Well, okay, now he goes down to 4th, but I like that maneuver of like shifting to P4 or a gear 4 late. Saving him some fuel. The goal here, right, if you can even do it, is to save enough fuel to get yourself to the competition caution. That is, in a perfect world, what you want to do, but it just comes down to, you know, can you? Right now, though, looking pretty fast. 6 ended up getting around Brendan Bowie there as we're riding aboard. Couple of guys, so out front is Brandon 6, Brandon Bowie. This battle's still pretty well tight right now. Already about 10 minutes done in the session, in the All-Star race. And this is going to be one of those races, too, where I really think this is going to come down to strategy, right? I've got a feeling we're seeing 2 different strats kind of in play, right? I mean, right now I'm seeing Brandon 6, Brandon Bowie, you know, Phipps maybe, Zelazny. I don't really think they're kind of giving up a whole lot. I really feel like they're kind of going for it. They're probably saving for sure, but I don't think they're going to go 100% right now, but they're going relatively, you know, fast right here. They're not going to give up a whole lot. But in the back of the pack, we're seeing, you know, Dohar, Salzano, Sprecher, maybe, you know, Nick Lights. I feel like these guys are trying to save enough fuel to get themselves to the competition caution with 30 minutes left to go. I really feel that way. The guys in the middle can't really tell what they're doing. I feel like they're just kind of, you know, running around and seeing what happens. It is definitely a bunch going on right now, for sure. I feel like for me, if I'm driving in this race, you know, again, you can go about, it's about, man, like 40 laps, I would say, on fuel. Now, obviously, that doesn't really translate too well with time, but if you can slow your time down, you know, hard enough, then it doesn't really matter. You can really make it happen. 48 minutes left to go, though, already a quarter of the way down, just about. And we're seeing hard racing. I mean, you know, Phipps is kind of by himself, but these guys right here have been battling a lot. Barroso, Salyers, Anderson. Gonna ride on board real quick. The regular season champion. And looking pretty good. I mean, right now he's getting chased hard here by Salyers, but these guys... See, look at this. Jackson's staying in 5th gear. So this is what I was curious about. Are there going to be guys who do that? Because as we know, that saves the most fuel by not downshifting. Now, it's going to be tighter into the corners, but not downshifting. Staying in that 5th gear definitely makes a lot of sense. Just a matter of, you know, hey, can you sustain that for long enough? Austin Salyers, though, not going to wait any longer. We're going to go for it here, it looks like. So far, good stuff. 6 up front still. Brandon Bowie, Andrew Phipps. Man, awesome, awesome job. Dohar back up a bit into 13th, so looks like he got it back going again. At some point, I feel like we're going to see these guys kind of fire it back off, right? I mean, once they know if they can go all the way on fuel until that caution, you know, that might be it. And then once that caution happens, you probably can pit then and, you know, fill the car up with fuel, and you might be okay to go all the way to the end, right? So this first 30 minutes, I feel like, is definitely tougher than the later half. Because it all comes down to that time, right? A yellow flag will take up a lot of time. It won't rattle off the laps a whole lot, but it does the time. Man, close racing here. Anderson and Barroso going for it. Frankie, I believe, in the wall right there, maybe on the outside lane. Not quite getting it. Really, really close stuff, though. But so far, man, fantastic racing. It all comes down to strategy, I feel like. This is going to be one of those races where it's going to be strategy. You know, when you look at one of our races, typically, I mentioned it earlier, right? Typically, our races are, you know, stage 1, stage 2, and those are pretty urgent, right? Because there's points in the line for stages. Everyone can make it on fuel, right? Things like that. But in a case like this, you know, this is kind of like a stage 3 scenario where there's no more cautions. There's obviously one caution coming up at halfway, but, you know, as far as like a half an hour of green flag racing is what essentially, you know, we could get here. It's a long time, especially in the sim, you know, right here, and fuel-wise is 50%, so that's, you know, it all matters. And if we keep going the way we are right now, we're going to start seeing guys starting to pit in about probably 5 to maybe 8 minutes on fuel. Now, the nice thing is, if you're, you know, in the front, maybe if you're a 6, a Bowie, a Phipps, if you're going at full capacity right now, maybe not full speed, but close to full speed, then I feel like, you know, you come down, take a splash of fuel, and then off you go, right? Just to get to that competition caution. And then, you know, during that competition caution, you take your tires, you know, and then off you go. I think that's probably what they'll do, if I had to guess. If you're one of these guys in the back that are saving fuel right now, clearly, you know, you're probably looking to, you know, make it on fuel until that competition caution, right? And then you probably take your tires then. So at the end of the day, really both strats kind of work. You know, the only question is, if you're a front runner, you know, does that splash of fuel, you know, does that put you a lap down? Does that somehow screw you? Does that, you know, so that's, I feel like, risky in its own way. Mark Whitley actually already coming down pit road here. Look at this. Already down pit road. I like this strat. So he's obviously a guy. Now, he was coming from the back of the field, mid to back of the field. I thought maybe he would kind of ease up a bit and try and save his fuel load, but does not look like that's the case. So the question is, when do the leaders pass him? If they do, they're coming down to turn 1 now, and Mark is in a pretty decent spot. So he's in the back stretch right here. Brandon 6 is on the front stretch. So not going to lose a lap, I don't believe. Oh, yes, he did. He lost 1 lap, but we'll see where that puts him. Bowie down pit road. Phipps and Anderson. So this is kind of that strategy A we talked about, right? You know, I feel like there's going to be that strat B where a couple of guys can probably make it on fuel if they started to save from the drop of the green flag. And those guys probably, you know, Smecker, Kaler, Daryl Young, we'll see, but a lot going on here early on. Fuel only, looks like, for these guys. Bunch more now coming down pit road. Christian Angel, Salyers. We saw Anderson and Phipps right here now battling it off pit road. Oh, man. Got to be careful right there to blend in the right way and not get a pit road exit violation. The leader now down pit road, 6. Salyers, Zelazny as well. So forget about my strategy. Everyone's coming down pit road now. Angel, there he is. Silzano. I mean, everyone has to take tires at some point. No, doesn't have to, right? But you have that one additional set. So when do you take it? Do you take it at the competition caution? You probably do, but you know, hey, do you risk it? Maybe a late race caution comes out. You go on those fresh tires, and now you're blazing past people. So we'll see what they decide to do. Tyler Dohar on track right now still as the current leader with 41 minutes left to go. Again, 11 minutes until that caution comes out. And this is the interesting part, too, I feel like, is that you know, as a driver, exactly when the caution will come out. Which is pretty interesting. Dylan Bates coming off pit road. Looks like he'll be a lap down. Bates, Fleming, and Silzano right now being shown 1 lap down. Whitley got his lap back from obviously just pitting a second ago, so he'll be blending in here pretty well. Perfect. Actually kind of going to be gaining some spots, I believe. He really got into pit road really, really nice. Good stuff here. Dohar comes down. No, spins out actually on pit road here. He's well below that apron line, so he shouldn't be bringing out a caution here. This is going to be just fine, I think. He's going to reverse up and get it back going. This is going to be a huge, man, unfortunate moment here for Dohar. Yeah, he just says, you know what, screw it. I'm going to just bring it to pit road. He could have backed up there. I'm not sure why he didn't, but unless there's some kind of wheel malfunction or whatnot, but we'll find out later on. Smecker and now Daryl Young on pit road. Coming down for fuel, so nobody, looks like, is going for my strat of trying to save it with fuel, but that's okay. Nick Light's going to be the car on the lead lap. So far, the leader right now, so looks like he might be coming down pit road here. He slowed down quite a bit. Maybe even out of fuel here for Nick Light's. Not sure what this is about. We're just taking a super conservative approach onto the track. So there he is, back down pit road. Brandon Six will take over the lead here. 39 minutes left to go. A big lead in front of Brandon Bowie. Good stuff. Nick Light's going to be taking just the fuel, it would seem. Dohar back on track right now, but man, that's not a good time. Unfortunately, 2 laps down, maybe even more a second from now. That will be it for sure. So green flag pit stops are over with, and we have that competition caution coming out in about 8.5 minutes. Good stuff so far from Nashville. It's been green the entire time. And so far, so good. Right now, we're going to take a second, folks. We'll step aside and go race day nonstop. We'll thank some sponsors while you folks watch the race live. We'll come right back.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy life. Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping. Rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight. Rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back to the ASRA All-Star Race right now with 36 minutes left to go in this feature race. Again, this is a timed race right now, so not typically a lap race. This is all about time, 60-minute timed race. And we're 6 minutes away from that competition caution, so a lot going down right now. Trevor Zelazny trying to go for P2 here up against Brandon Bowie. Looks like Bowie's not going to put up a huge fight. Zelazny, though, makes it around for second. Good stuff right here. Brandon 6 up front once again, and I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since we've seen a race like this, and not to jinx it, but man, Brandon 6 this season has just not really hit on all cylinders. I mean, it's just something hasn't gone his way really, and whether it be, you know, races ended a weird way or cautions or, you know, things like that, right? So it's tough to see or say really why it's kind of gone that way, but either way, he's here, and he'll even say, right, man, these playoffs, he's in them now, and the interesting thing about it is that he claims these next 5 racetracks for the playoffs are some of his best, so he might be in prime position to win this championship still. We'll see how that goes. Right now, leading the All-Star race by about 1.75 seconds against Trevor Zelazny, our most recent winner. Really good stuff. Big conga line here of drivers. Frankie all the way to Christian Angel. Try and see what these guys can do here. Try and pass a couple of guys before that caution comes out. Man, impressive stuff. Jared Kaler still working on Austin Salyers here. Looking at the back right now, looking at Dylan Bates, P10 Whitley, holding back a bit. Kaler makes that move around. That's going to be right there. Ooh, Salyers, a little tight. Oh my gosh. Bumping and banging. That was super close. Tough spot right here. Make it through right now. Christian Angel gets a good rotation around that corner, but that was tough for Salyers. Salyers looks really, really tight. We saw that in the Open too, actually, I believe, where he was just tight out of these corners. And that can happen, right? If you get too early of an entrance, you can really tighten yourself up on the exit. That's not a good thing. You really want to kind of sacrifice the entrance, or corner entry here for the exit. One of those tough places for sure. Update real quick on the guys in the back. Nick Lights in P14. Daryl Young, Devin Smucker. I feel like these guys, again, they're still holding on to their stuff. I think once this caution comes out, they can kind of reset, get themselves back into a better position, but we will see. I feel like, too, there's also this strategy of, you know, hey, you know, once the competition caution comes out, you know, do you even pit, right? Do you just stay out in front? We saw in the All-Star Open, oh man, 3 wide almost a second ago here, wow. Right in the back, about P8 and 9. You know, but a second ago, does somebody stay out here at the caution? we saw Grant Salzano and how well he did on that no tire call, right? So, you know, maybe you do that, and then maybe you kind of hope for a caution flag to come out late in the race. That'll set yourself up to put those tires on and then really fly through the field. So somebody, I'm sure, will try it just based on, you know, where they are on the track right now, I assume, but we will see. Anderson, though, kind of falling off right here into P10. Don't believe anybody took tires on that recent green flag stop as well, so that will not be the case here. Brendan Bowie falling off, though, a little bit here. Your pole sitter. Hard to tell if this is intentional or not, but either way, a minute and a half away from our competition caution. It'll happen the second it hits 30 minutes left to go. So far, a really interesting race. Calculated for sure, right? I kind of want to know what they're dealing with in their heads, right? Like, you know, do I save fuel here? Do I take tires then? Do I kind of just, you know, take it easy? Tough to say. I mean, right now, we're already seeing, you know, Brandon 6 here. We're going to go on board real quick if we can. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing him catching up on the back of the field already. 45 seconds to go, though. We've got about a lap left to go. He might catch some and put him a lap down before this. And this is the important part, right? This is going to be so close. Doesn't seem like he'll put down any driver's laps down here. Those guys in the back trying everything they can to stay on the lead lap. Really, really good stuff. Here we go, though. 30 minutes left to go, and there it is. Competition caution. Ironically, it came out right at the line right there, so that works. But hey, Brandon 6 going to be the leader right now at the competition caution. This is the only caution we will have as far as planned cautions. There's no stages tonight. But here we go. The one and only competition caution. Brandon 6 going to be your leader, followed by Zelazny, Bates, Phipps, Barroso, and then Bowie, Salyers, Kaler, Angel, and Anderson rounding out the top 10. Yeah, Brownlee put it really good in the chat right here. Yeah, take tires and hope it goes green, or don't take and hope for a caution. I agree. I think, you know, who stays out right here? Does anybody stay out? Where are they at? Fleming comes down. Okay. Nick Lights. Who's going to be the one? Grant, out of anybody, knows what it feels like to be on no tires. So does he pull it? No. Not one person. Okay. Now we know. Tires on for 6. Lots of tires going on. Dylan Bates, I believe, maybe took fuel only. Christian Angel as well. Look at him. He's out in front. Mark Whitley. Maybe even 2 tires. We'll wait and see. Some damage to fix potentially, and a lot of good stuff. Keep in mind, we have that choose rule too. We have the choose, so they will do that as well. But Dylan Bates out in front. Christian Angel in P2. Brandon 6 comes out P8. Interestingly enough, so your leader comes out a little bit late. Not sure if that was a issue on pit road or whatnot, but hey, 4 tires for sure for that 66. Mark Whitley, he's a 2 tire kind of guy, so maybe he took 2 right there. You never know, right? Track position is just so key. But Dylan Bates up front, Christian Angel, P2. We'll step aside, folks. Thank a couple sponsors. We'll get back to the end of this race. Stick around. All right, folks, welcome back. It's time for the second half of the ASRA All-Star Race here from Nashville Superspeedway. And a lot is going down right now, man. Our partners right there on the side of the screen, big thanks to them. Choose Rule has just happened right here, so now we're going to figure out who can get this thing done. A couple of drivers taking some risks right here. Dylan Bates, Christian Angel, I believe no tires, potentially. Mark Whitley maybe on 2 tires. Couldn't quite tell from that pit, but we will see. 4 tires for most of the drivers behind him, so a lot going on here. We saw in the first half of the race, they had to pit really around that 20 to 22, 23 minute mark. And right now, we're going to have about 25 minutes left to go in this session. So this is the interesting part, right? Do they have enough fuel to get to the end? Uh-oh. We're not going green this time. Wonder why. That'll definitely stack up things for sure. Oh, Angel looks like he's being brought to the back. I'm not sure if he was given a penalty of some kind or whatnot, but that's interesting. Okay, so we'll re-rack him real quick. But that right there is huge, I feel like. Because now we're going to wipe away one more lap. See if that pace car goes green once more. Okay, they go off. So here we go. We're going to wipe away about another minute off of that. So now it's going to be even tighter. So now I feel like, man, 23 and a half minutes left to go. Can they go all the way on fuel? That's the question, right? And that's the thing that's interesting about this. This puppy might come down to a fuel mileage race. We will see. Interesting format here. But here we go. Okay, so getting word, Christian Angel choose cone violation. Which means he was not obviously up high or down low for that choose rule. Most likely he was right in the middle of that pack right there and was indecisive, so that can happen. Here we go, though. Dylan Bates, Mark Whitley up front. A couple of no-tire calls right here, just getting word on that. 23 and a half minutes to go. Green flag back out for the All-Star race. Ooh, Brandon Six really trying to squeeze it in right there. Again, 4 fresh tires for Brandon Six. He needs to get to the front quick and fly through him. But if you're Dylan Bates, you want to just leave right now. You are gonzo if you can. Good stuff here. Dylan Bates just doesn't have the tire to do it. Bowie going to get past him easy right here. Maybe even Anderson and Zelazny all in the same corner. Good stuff for sure. Hey, it's not over yet. Bates and Whitley, they're going to fall back here. But if a caution comes out, I'll tell you what, they are in the catbird seat. Will that happen? Brandon Bowie, though, up front. Zelazny and Anderson right behind him. Brandon Six going to try and get around Dylan Bates here in this corner. Might do it. In the back, too, so far, these guys, Salyers, working alongside Whitley, gonna fly on through. So they have their fuel. Whitley and Smecker, I'm sorry, Whitley and Bates, they have the fuel to get to the end, most likely, right? Especially if they kind of loosen up here a bit. But do they have enough to get to the checker, or if a caution comes out? We will see. Zelazny, though, gets to the front. Brendan Bowie gonna hold back a little bit, as you see. They're worried about that fuel, I've got a feeling. Zelazny, though, and Anderson take the lead right now, P1 and 2. It is really, really close. I will say 21 minutes to go. And for those who don't know how this format works, or typically timed races, what'll happen is the race doesn't just automatically end when the timer goes to 0. It'll basically, the sim kind of calculates, you know, when the white flag comes out based on how much time is left. So an average lap time is about 30 seconds-ish. So with about 30 seconds left to go in this timer, the white flag will come out. That's typically how they operate it. So as you see in like an IMSA race or WEC, you know, things like that. But these guys, they're going for it right now. Zelazny and Anderson. I'm not sure if they have the fuel, though, to get to the end. That's the question. That's the big question. Do they have the fuel to get to the end? Don't know that in particular. Dylan Bates, though, especially with no tires, holding on to a P6 right here is really, really good. Might get passed here by Salyers, but Anderson now for the lead. Makes the pass around Zelazny. So here he is, your regular season champion. Jackson Anderson gets to the front for the All-Star race with just under 20 minutes left to go. Man, can he get this dub? We're going to find out pretty soon. Zelazny as well. 6 now gets around Bowie. Everyone's saving just a little bit of fuel to get to the end. You don't need much. If a caution comes out, that's it. Everyone can make it at that point. But, man, really, really tough. I feel like if you're a Bates right now, or if you're a Whitley, and if there's more who didn't take tires right there, you want this yellow bad. So far, great stuff right here. The Cardano camo machine. Looking really, really good. Man, I am getting through some allergies or something. I'm just like a sniffly, nosy mess right now. Good Lord. Nick Lights, though, holding on pretty strong. And these guys, you know, for a while I thought maybe Nick Lights is shaking his stuff in front of Whitley. That's pretty funny. But not sure if you caught that. But yeah, right now these guys, I thought maybe, you know, these guys might have more for the field, but, you know, coming to find out, there's not a whole lot going on for a lot of the guys here on track. Dohar is 1 lap down, unfortunately. Daryl Young, these guys are just here for the TV time, I think. And we're going to give it to him. Beast mode on the side of that machine right there. Tyler Dohar looking good. Filter time on the back end. Elite. Performance Industries in the side. Looking pretty good. Former winners here for ASRA looking good. Grant Salzano. Hey, not a winner just yet. Tell you what, it's coming eventually. And good looking ride, obviously. Advanced in this race from finishing top 3 in the All-Star Open a second ago. So good stuff. Christian Angel. Hey, you won the pole for the All-Star Open. And that's how he got advanced as well. But right now, hey, you know what? You come out of this race and you keep all the fenders on that car. That's a W for sure. Any day of the week, considering his season so far. So good stuff here for that 75. Fleming, kind of a quiet day, honestly. Not really in the front or in the back, just kind of in that middle. Sounds like he's just kind of getting some laps, but you never know. These things can go different ways, and good practice nonetheless, and getting your name up there. Southern Diesel Solutions on the side of that, looking really, really good. So I expect some good things out of him these last 5 races of the season, especially that man in front of him right there, Mark Whitley. Man, heartbreak to not see him in that Championship 12, but he's in that contender battle, that secondary championship battle, and I'm telling you, he's gonna probably walk away with it based on the talents in that playoff battle. Not that nobody else can win it, but man, you know, you have a superstar down there who unfortunately didn't make it. You can probably walk away with it, but we'll see. I've seen crazier things to happen, but some more wins are coming for him, as well as Nick Lights right there in that Hosky Cardano machine. Again, no wins this season for him, as well as Whitley. Just, it's interesting how we've seen some of our biggest, I guess, yeah, superstars, you can call them, just not winning so far this season. That just goes to the competition levels we've seen this season, I feel like. And man, these guys are going to be winning races for sure pretty soon. Smecker, right in front. That drip drops machine. Hey, he's in the playoffs. He won that race earlier on, I believe it was Kansas, actually. And man, really, really good stuff. Kind of an up and down season so far for him, but he's getting there. He's definitely a championship 4 contender. If things go his way, I think, hey, he just has to kind of turn it around a little bit. He can definitely make it happen. Brandon Bowie has fallen down to P9 right now. He was up front by a lot, so he's probably saving fuel at this point. If the caution doesn't come out, then that will definitely be the case. A lot of these guys will have to kind of pit here, but we'll see. Brandon Bowie back up to P9. Barroso, as well, a quiet day. Good stuff in the chat. Anderson is last and he got it. Heck yeah, so far. Look at him go. A lot of Zelazny fandom in the chat. Would love to see that. Anderson right there in P1 as well. So, hey, you never know. Zelazny stole one last 2 weeks ago. We had an off week last week, and the week before that was Atlanta, our last regular season race. Man, he just stole that win, and I mean, he stole it, but he earned it, right? He passed Max Brady at the line and got it done. So his first win of his career here in the ASRA, and man, looking very, very good. P2 right now. I'm concerned, honestly, about their fuel levels right now. They're kind of going full speed, I feel like. So I'm not sure if they're hoping for a caution or just, what they're doing, I guess. But either way, it's working, and pretty cool to see. So Andrew Phipps in 3rd spot. Awesome job. Jared Kaler, man, I'll tell you what, he came into the series as a sub, and so far he's been just really, really solid. Just races well, nice and clean, and man, keeps that nose right where it is. Super good stuff. Austin Salyers, another guy here too, I feel like. Man, he came so close to a win early in the season against Devin Smecker, actually. So that same race where Smecker won, man, Salyers was there. He was leading the race, then got passed, I believe it was, by Smecker. And truthfully, Salyers could have probably made a move, right? He could have probably bumped him or, moved him off the track or something, but he didn't do that. So lots of respect for Salyers to finish second there and not knock him out of the way. Earned a lot of respect, I feel like, from his competitors too by doing that. So a win's coming for sure for that 19 at some point. Right now, though, 13 minutes to go in the All-Star race. Again, this is a timed race, so in 13 minutes, we're going to see that white flag up here. All comes down to who can win this race. I feel like right now, that elephant in the room is the fuel mileage. Right now, we see a lot of these guys on tires, obviously, and new tires. Dylan Bates and Mark Whitley on the old tires. Actually, no tires, really, from that last pit stop. A couple of guys here, too. Look at these. Frankie Barroso, Brandon Bowie, really, really falling back here. So, oh, yeah. Let's ride on board real quick. They are just coasting. Listen to this entering turn 1. Yeah, just coasting all the way through turns 1 and 2. I'm going to guess Frankie's doing the same thing. We'll take a listen in. Yeah, just completely clutches it. Turns the engine off, really. Off he goes. Mark Whitley. We'll see if we can hear him do anything similar to that. It doesn't seem like it. Downshifts. He's kind of going, business as usual here. G-Force game driver is available. Okay, good to know. Sorry. I love random pop-ups during a broadcast. It's always fun to me. Makes it look really, really, really professional. But Anderson Zelazny, 11 minutes to go. I fear that they're going to have to pit for sure. If we're seeing Brandon Bowie, Frankie clutching it in, turning the engine off, okay, these boys are going to have to pit for sure. But it just matters, you know, where do they come out of that, right? I mean, Mark Whitley, Dylan Bates, maybe they take tires here, right? And again, hope for a caution. It all depends. But at some point, a couple of these guys are going to have to pit. And probably the majority of the field, actually. It's just a matter of time as to when. I expect it to happen pretty soon. If Anderson and Zelazny are going as hard as I think they are, and Phipps as well, these guys probably have to pit, I mean, in the next couple of minutes, I would assume. So we'll see how they can go. It might be a splash and go, though, for sure, just to get to the end. And again, the thing about a timed race is that there's no overtime. There's no green-white checkers. There's none of that, right? It's just when the timer says 0, we're done. So it's pretty simple. We're going to see 6 really try and catch up to Dylan Bates now. Is 6 starting to go? Let's listen in. Okay, so still clutching it in. Engine off, all kinds of different things here. So he's still saving the fuel too. It looks like not as hard as maybe Frankie and Bowie are. Definitely in fuel save mode. Just under now 10 minutes to go in the All-Star race. Good stuff so far right now. Take a zoom in. There's that 83 associated on the side of that car. I'll tell you what, a lot of these paint schemes done by Harpoon Design. Lots of good people here for sure. A lot of good paint schemes. So go and check them out, harpoondesign.com. Also, the sponsor of today's race and the title sponsor for the series. So, man, they invest into us, so we'll invest into them. Love to see it. Dylan Bates, I'll tell you what, doing a really good job holding on to these no tires. There's a couple of guys here looking pretty dicey. Dohar and Daryl Young looking struggling a little bit with their tire sets and maybe just overall handling of their cars or whatnot, but they're making it happen. 8.5 to go here. But Jackson Anderson, the regular season champion, can he hold on to get this win? Did he figure out something with the fuel that nobody else did? I'll tell you what, we ride on board real quick to the 83, and he is just hard charging it. There is no saving right here. Downshifting into 4th. Sun's starting to set a little bit. Very, very interesting. We'll see a couple of guys pit, I'm sure, by the end of this thing, but we'll see. Jared Kaler holding on to P4, Salyers in P5. These guys have raced together quite a bit in today's race. Caution free so far, which is very nice to see. Obviously, we had that one competition caution halfway. That is part of the format. So, oh, here it is. Zelazny and Phipps. Pit road time. Green flag pit stops. Had to come down pit road, obviously, for the fuel. They have no more tire sets, so this is going to be literally a splash and go to get to the end of this race. Andrew Phipps, the same thing. Zelazny in pit road and already off. About 3 or 4 seconds of fuel and off they go. Anderson now comes down pit road. The leader gives it away. So fuel was a concern here. And now they come down pit road. Mark Whitley as well comes down pit road early, looks like. Again, no tires from him earlier on. Maybe he takes those tires now just for the hell of it. So that'll give the lead right now to Jared Kaler in that 4 machine. Kaler still stays out, gets a lap lead here. Austin Sawyer's now down. So who worked out the strategy the right way? This is going to come down to a fuel race, which I'm sure everyone loves. But that's sometimes how you win races. Look at Tyler Dohart. Look at what he did earlier on at Indianapolis. Jared Kaler, here he comes down pit road. Sacrifices the lead right there. So Dylan Bates as well. So there he comes. And that will give the lead to Brandon 6, and that's a dangerous man right there. Because we know he was saving fuel earlier on. Along with Frankie and also Bowie, his teammate. So Kaler off pit road. Bates right now as well. Still on pit road here. And right now, we're kind of in that territory, too, where if a caution were to come out, man, how many laps would we get to go green? Like 1, maybe 2? Depending on how long that caution period is. You never know. Man, 6 is really, really slowing up here. You can hear him. He is saving hard. He was clutching it in at the start-finish line. Listen to this next time by. Oh, yeah. He is in absolutely max fuel-saving mode, folks. Frankie 2 seconds behind him as well. So Bowie teammates here, really, 1 through 4. Actually, Anderson, yeah, look at this. Already clutching it in. Anderson here, he did pit, but he came out. He's in 3rd spot right now. So he is flying Jackson Anderson into Lasney in P5 as well. They already have their fuel. They can go fast right now. They're good to go. With 4 minutes to go, did Jackson, I think Zelazny might be too far back at this point. But did Anderson play the cards right? Was saving fuel as intensely as the Bowie Esport drivers did, was that the call? Or was the call to go as fast as you can so that you can just pit in real quick at a splash of fuel and then off you go? Was that enough? Anderson's 8.5 seconds back behind the leader, Brandon 6. Frankie Barroso as well, about 1.5 seconds back, is just the same from Brandon 6. So we will see. 3.5 minutes to go in the All-Star race. Frankie right now, what does he have for him? Does he have enough to get to the end? Still clutching it, still giving it. Man, he is so close. Frankie is 9/10 of a second back. Who saved fuel the best? Just out smoke right there too, so I'm not sure if Daryl got loose or got into the apron. I don't know, but here he is. Frankie's there. But here's the tough part. Can he pass him and hold on to it? Who saved the better fuel? Jackson's not too far back either. He's 6 seconds back. He is absolutely gaining right now. But does he have enough time? 2.5 minutes to go. This is just comes down to an absolute chess match. Two drivers right here who have not won this season, 6 or Frankie Barroso. I know it's the All-Star race, but hey, either way, a trophy's up for grabs. And quite frankly, just some good vibes, right? I mean, this might be a win's a win, right? No matter where it is. This could be what it takes to get themselves into a better state of mind, right? Entering the playoffs. 1.5 minutes left to go. Jackson is 4 seconds back. He is absolutely flying to get there. I just don't know if he'll have enough. He might. Now 3.5 seconds back. He is just so fast right now. But these guys, how much fuel do they have to save? Got about 3, maybe 4 laps to go here. Frankie. He knows he can blow past 6 right now, but the question is, does Frankie have enough fuel too, right? It is just so tough. Anderson, right here, under 2 seconds to go and a minute left in the All-Star race. Didn't exactly expect this kind of a situation to end the All-Star race, but here we are. Brandon 6. So slow here. 45 seconds. No white flag just yet. It should be the white flag next time by. And Anderson is just about to be there. Does he have enough to get around him? Anderson got tight there. He's nervous. I can tell he's overdriving a bit. He's going to pass Frankie Barroso. 6 has got to go here. Anderson is there. 20 seconds left to go. This should be the white flag here for the All-Star race. Will it be? Doesn't seem like it is just yet. White flag will come out right when the timer hits 0. Jackson Anderson, side by side, Brandon 6, and he gets around him. So much for the fuel strat for Brandon 6 and Frankie Barroso. That's going to be it. Jackson Anderson takes the lead over. Brandon 6 out of fuel right now, it looks like, as well as Frankie Barroso. Oh no, it did not work. And the checkered flag is out. Jackson Anderson comes around and steals a win here for the All-Star race. Your regular season champion, and now the All-Star race champion for season 7. How about that? Unbelievable job right there. Normally it would have shown us the white flag sponsored by Cardano, but it didn't that time, interestingly enough. But so we apologize for that. One of those interesting situations when it comes to timed racing. Unfortunately, 6 and Anderson just did not, or 6 and Barroso, excuse me, just did not have enough to get to the end and finish the race. But Jackson Anderson gets it done here in Nashville. Unbelievable job by Jackson Anderson to run down the buoy drivers of Brandon 6 and Frankie Barroso. They tried to make enough fuel. It just did not work. And Jackson Anderson got the job done. P2, Trevor Zelazny, his buddy. P1 and 2. Good stuff right there. In the third spot, Andrew Phipps, followed by Jared Kaler, Matthew Fleming. So flagship 1, 2, 4, and 5. Unbelievable job by all these guys right here. But Anderson was the one with the win, folks. What a good job. We'll step aside for a second. We'll thank 2 of our sponsors, 3 of them. We'll come back and talk to your winners. All right, folks, welcome back right now to the All-Star race. At the end of it, man, Jackson Anderson did everything he could right there. He pulled the right strategy, splash and go, fuel at the end, and got himself the All-Star race win. Let's go and bring him in real quick. Where is Jackson?
I was like, I need.
Here he is right here. Jackson Anderson, unbelievably the winner of today's ASRA All-Star race. Man, you pulled the right strategy for the race. A couple of guys, obviously the buoy guys, tried to save fuel, but you just took that splash and go, said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go all the way and just speed it through, and you made it happen, man. What was your mindset on how to pick that strat today?
Man, Vector always tells me to go by the way I want to race, and that's me going full send. So I went full send the entire race. I learned not to do that the first half, burning my crap up, dropped down to 10th. But then the second half of the race, I remembered from last season in Nashville, taking right sides was better than 4 tires in the afternoon. And I took right sides, and I just kind of went and never thought about it.
So you intentionally said, you know what, I'm gonna just go all the way, not worry about fuel. So you wanted to kind of take that fuel strat at the end, at splash and go, and then see if you can catch them?
Yeah, I mean, my main worry was a caution come out, and the people that saved the extra set would dominate. So I was like, well, if I just go right now and pull as much of a gap as I can, I'll have a faster pit stop, still have a cushion, and then try to lap some cars down that I was trying to save fuel. And it worked.
That's good stuff, man. Hey, talk to us about, like, what was going through your head when, you know, laps were not laps, time at this point. Time was winding down, and, you know, Frankie and Six were right there in front of you. I mean, what were the nerves like trying to get around them?
I think there's no possible way they saved half a tank of fuel for that, to be honest. And then when I got there, I was like, watch, they're gonna either run out of fuel when I get there at the end, or they're gonna race me really hard and I'll get tight, because I was tight and I slid up when Six got on the outside of me. So I was like, oh, because I initially thought he ran out of fuel, and then he was on my door again. I was like, uh-oh. So I don't know, I just kind of went and saw I was getting about a second and a half faster lap times each lap with 4 minutes to go, and they were 6 seconds ahead of me, so I knew I could get there. Just had to be not hit the wall.
Hey man, awesome job to get your win today. Obviously Daytona winner from earlier in the season, that got you into the playoffs. Also the regular season winner, and then now the All-Star race winner, man. So far the season's going just the way maybe you wanted it to, but man, awesome job so far. Definitely a great catapult into the playoffs here starting next week. So real quick, man, give us your shout outs and your sponsors and friends and family you want to give us today.
Shout out to Vector. He helps me with all my Python homework, and I couldn't get through that class without him. And then I would like to thank Flem Dogs Auto Repair, San Antonio Karting Complex, Wheels America, Texas OEM Wheels, Oasis Sim Racing, Southern Diesel Solutions, and Harpoon Designs for the paint schemes. And then my RC car sponsors, Team Associated, Reedy, and J Concepts.
All right, man. Hey, good stuff. We'll see you next week at Darlington for the playoffs, man. Great win today. Awesome stuff.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, folks. Jackson Anderson, the winner of today's ASRA All-Star race. Man, what a great job by him to make it all the way at the end and figure it out. The right strat to call. Crazy good stuff. That's going to be it, folks, for us. Nice and easy. Jackson Anderson, your winner today. What an incredible time to get that done today. So we're going to send it off. Jackson Anderson, the winner. Huge shout out to all you folks for watching online today. On Race Day on YouTube, but also on X right now on ASRA iRacing. Go and check us out there too. A lot of cool stuff. But hey, folks, next week, Darlington, the beginning of our playoffs, the Championship 12. We're going to go at it. Awesome track, awesome facility, and will be one to remember for sure. So be right back here, 9 p.m. next week. But for me, my name is Steve. Appreciate you folks. Hit the like button, subscribe button. And hey, we'll see you next week. Have a good night, though, folks. Jackson Anderson, your All-Star race winner from Nashville. Have a good night.